live from the studios of WNCT TV.
Every person's nightmare. You get in your car and there's a kidnapper waiting there. It happened to a woman and her 2 children. Also tonight, day 2 in the ECU wiretapping probe. Today, defense attorneys say they will try to prove their clients were acting on orders from higher-ups. Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Hoffman. Thanks for joining us on the First in News tonight. First of all, let's talk about something each of us dreads, being taken by surprise by someone with a gun. Tonight, Pitt County deputies are looking for 2 men who they believe did that to a woman and her 2 children. Our Amy Burkett reports the story ended okay for the victims.
The incident apparently started at this gas station on 5th Street in Washington. A 21-year-old woman and her 2 children were allegedly taken hostage when they found 2 armed men in their car after paying their bill at the station. Pitt County deputies got involved around 10 o'clock when they got a phone call from the victim's sister in Pennsylvania. The woman said someone had called her asking for money. In return, she would get the safe return of her sister. Deputies caught up with the Burgundy Chrysler LeBaron in Bethel. About a mile outside of Bethel, near NC 30, a man fled the car. And then the other man made her stop the car near this dumpster site, and he got out. She reported the incident from this car dealership and told sheriff's deputies the men sprayed her and her children with mace before they got out.
We're looking for a white male that's in his 20s with longish brown, blondish colored hair. He was wearing faded blue jeans with a black stripe down each pant leg side, t-shirt, and that's all the description we have on him. The other is a black male in his 20s with short cut hair. He was wearing faded blue jeans, a black shirt, and that's all the description we have on him.
Deputies searched the area with bloodhounds for about an hour but couldn't find the 2 men. Just last week, a similar incident happened in Greenville with 2 unknown men taking a hostage around the Fire Tower Road area. Police are not linking the 2 at this time. Amy Burkett, News Center 9, the First in News.
Testimony began today in the ECU wiretapping trial going on in New Bern. During the course of the trial, the prosecuting attorneys will attempt to convict former ECU Telecommunications Director Teddy Robertson and former Public Safety Captain Joe Barris on 5 charges. Now, the defense lawyers today said they are trying to prove the men recorded the phone calls of a former employee under the approval of their supervisors. The man who blew the whistle on this case, the wiretapping, Stan Kittrell, testified today, and attorneys say he stuck to his story that he found the wiretapping transcripts by accident and turned them over to the FBI. The trial will continue tomorrow. Public Safety Director Jim Depew will testify sometime this week. And a man with a gun interrupted breakfast at Burger King in Jacksonville this morning. Police say the man walked into the shop around 6:30 on Highway 17 and Belfork Road, asked for the manager, and he demanded money and displayed a pistol in his waistband of his trousers. He's described as a black male, about 5'9", 170 pounds, probably in his early to mid-30s. If you have any information, call the Jacksonville Police Department at the number on your screen, 455-1472. A lot of people have been inconvenienced by the USAir strike that hit the airline yesterday. The picket lines went up at a number of airports in our state, and tonight the company says it's able to keep about half of its flights going. Here's more.
Hear that? It's not what you hear, it's what you don't hear. The roar of jets as they take off and land at Charlotte Douglas. Lines at the ticket counters are virtually non-existent. Only passengers who know they can get a flight are here. The lack of activity in Charlotte seems to be no different than what's going on with contract negotiations in Washington.
My understanding is that the mediator has been in contact with both sides separately, but I'm not aware of any talks that are scheduled.
It was hoped the strike could be short-lived, but now that mechanics are off the job, attitudes may be changing.
If something comes about to where we do get a contract, then that's great. But my resume is made out, and I have rollers on my toolbox. Get rolled out. This is my 5th airline, so number 6 maybe, who knows.
Keith Bridges for CBS News, Charlotte.
Now, a couple of good news stories for major projects in the area. First of all, a new report says the Interior Secretary, Manuel Lujan Jr., will give a confidential, or rather a conditional go-ahead to build a long-discussed Oregon Inlet jetty. Sources say Lujan decided to issue conditional construction permits for the project pending an environmental impact study. Senator Jesse Helms says he's glad to hear about it, but he's not optimistic that it will actually get built. And on that global park plan for Kinston, Governor Martin announced the Federal Aviation Administration has approved a $622,000 grant to help fund the airport's master plan. Now, this is the first step in a multi-phased funding process. Meanwhile, Lenoir County residents will meet tomorrow night to take a look at a proposed contract that would transfer the Kinston Regional Jetport to the state. Lenoir County and Kinston officials say there are a number of conditions, a lot of them. Among them, the state will have 3 years with a 2-year extension to take title of the airport. Out with the old and in with the new, right? Well, not always, especially if the new is going to cost more than $70,000. Today, workers in Greenville were putting on the top portion of the new storm drainage system on Elm Street. The 11-ton piece of material is part of the original pipe that collapsed more than 5 weeks ago due to heavy rain. Since that time, the section of Elm Street between 10th and 14th Streets has been closed for repairs. City workers say salvaging part of the pipe will save between $70,000 and $80,000.
The pipe was in good shape, and we felt like that would be a cost-saving measure. We expect a long life out of the tops of the pipe, and we just felt like that would be the cheapest, most effective way to do it.
Ty Singer also says about 4 or 5 weeks of work remain before the project is completed. And some sad news tonight for our TV9 family. Many of you who watched Carolina Today knew Cindy Pleasance, Slim Short's former bubbly co-host. Well, we have word that Cindy Pleasance has died. The 31-year-old was working at a TV station in Augusta, Georgia, doing interviews of the Newscast. She had been battling cancer. Cindy worked with TV9 on Carolina Today in the early 1980s. She was well thought of, always considered a bubbly, easy-to-like person. She will be buried in Wake Forest, where her family now lives. Now to politics. The Democratic candidate for lieutenant governor passed through Jacksonville trying to raise money today. Sanford native Dennis Wicker was asking for votes at a $25 a plate luncheon. He was served 6 terms as legislator for Lee County and believes in reforms in 3 key areas: education and helping the working person and development.
I believe the whole party is helping. I believe it's a Democratic year. I believe from top to bottom the ticket is going to carry this state. I'm very optimistic and very confident about our campaign, but I think that the whole party ticket is going to win in November, and you're going to see a sweep not only in North Carolina but across the country that I believe is going to be a mandate for change in government.
Wicker says Onslow County will play a key role in the elections for the state. He sees Onslow as a barometer of issues that concern the voters most. The organizers of Onslow County Soup Kitchens say the fallout from Hurricane Andrew has hit this far north. The Onslow Communities Ministry says because of the outpouring of help people in our area have sent to the people of South Florida, money donations for the soup kitchen are way off. Food donations have kept pace, but organizers tonight say the kitchen is in need of help.
The needs are there, but the money's not coming in, and we need about $1,500 a month just to operate. And it's hurting because people need the food out there. We serve between 150 and 200 a day, and we can't do it. We can't pay the gas and buy the products to put the soup in unless we have the money to do that.
Hendricks says with the holidays just around the corner, the demand on the soup kitchen will increase sharply. Well, you can almost feel the holidays coming as cool as it's been today, and I understand it's going to get real cool tonight.
Yes, overnight lows tonight will be almost in the ballpark to talk about frost. So we are getting very close to our first frost of the season. I don't think we'll have that tonight due to some clouds and also some breezes still kicking up out there. When we come back, we'll talk about a very cool forecast to continue for much of this week. Stay with us.
Ahoy! Look what I've discovered. It looks like a great place to buy a car. I bet the boys back home will love this new Ford pickup truck. And hey, look at this 1993 Probe. The Queen would love it. And look at all the friendly natives. I know you can deal with them. I hereby lay claim to this place for all the people of Eastern North Carolina. You can deal with us.
And as old Chris Columbus would say, discover your great deals at Evans Ford, Highway 258 North, Kinston.
How can Healthy Choice prepare a complete chicken parmigiana dinner that gives you less and more? By rewriting the entire recipe. Instead of simply giving you less fat, Healthy Choice selects more lean breast meat for more flavor. And there's not just less salt. Our sauce is brimming with luscious tomatoes, carefully seasoned with herbs and spices for more taste. Chicken Parmigiana dinner from Healthy Choice. Never settle for less.
10 years ago, instead of building more prisons, our state passed the so-called Fair Sentencing Act, a bad law that cuts the sentences of convicted violent criminals in half, releasing them early to commit their unspeakable crimes again. Now, 500 criminals a week are being paroled in North Carolina. Their sentence is cut in half by the Fair Sentencing Act. As governor, I'll fight to repeal this bad law. And that's something Jim Hunt won't do because he's a governor who created it.
They're all asking about you down at the fair. Cows asking, pigs asking, even the man. They want you to come out and take in the fall air. See about the farm life, forget all your cares. At the North Carolina Fair, it's all there.
Discover agriculture.
Down at the fair.
October 16th through 25th, Raleigh.
It is fair season. In fact, the Pitt County Fair going on tonight should have some very nice, cool weather. Bundle up if you are headed in that direction. Let's now check our numbers for today. A cool, crisp, brisk afternoon, 67 the maximum. The low this morning did dip into the 40s at 48. Tonight we should go breezing by that number. Let's check our current stats, and there we're finding the cool afternoon. It's now 63 degrees, and we do have some patchy clouds, and that is good news. That will keep it from getting as cool as it could. The winds are from the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity, 54%. Pressure now steady, 30-27. And, of course, no rain to report for the day. Some area temperatures now, again, nice and crisp and cool out there. 61 in Manteo, 60 for Elizabeth City, 65 Moorhead also for Cape Hatteras there as we move our way farther south. 67, one of the warmer spots being Wilmington. Elsewhere across the east, basically the low to the mid-60s. These numbers will drop off rather substantially here through the evening as skies will be partly cloudy to clear across the region. Satellite view is showing just a few patches of clouds. Now these clouds are working their way in from the Atlantic Ocean as we put this picture into motion. Watch the low gray clouds kind of develop and move their way slowly inland across the Carolinas. Usually this pattern causes the clouds to dissipate once they move inland. That's why most of the land is dry while the water is covered with clouds. Cool air comes in over the warm ocean. That's what forms those clouds. Therefore, when they move inland, they cannot support themselves. So again, later tonight, we should see mostly clear skies that will allow for a very, very cold night here. Overnight lows should drop well into the 40s. In some cases, the northern and western parts of our state should see lows in the 30s. Likely to see more frost for the northern mountains tonight, also for much of Virginia. And for eastern North Carolina, I really don't think we'll see frost tonight. Not quite that cold, and the breezes will continue just a bit as well. But indeed, bundle up, break out the quilts, and be careful using heaters tonight, because again, they can cause a fire hazard. Now for tomorrow, high pressure should continue across the entire East Coast. That means another relatively quiet day weather-wise, lots of sunshine. And it's going to be about maybe 2 degrees warmer tomorrow than we saw today, basically the upper 60s, close to 70. And down the road a piece, this is what we are watching, a very strong system organizing in the plains that may give us some rain by Friday or Saturday. Already, this system is causing snow for parts of Colorado, also Montana and Idaho and Wyoming, Utah, the entire area out here seeing snow. Winter storm watches are in effect. So we're going to watch that system for some heavy snow for the northern plains. Let's now check our forecast though on our coastline tonight. We should see a cool night. Lows in the upper 40s with some scattered clouds. Overnight lows, again, quite cool with those northeasterly breezes blowing 20 to 25 knots. The waves 7 to 9 feet tomorrow. Look for a partly cloudy, breezy and cool one, 65 with northeast winds. Quite high seas continuing, and we'll see our tides highest around 5:30 in the morning, lowest 11:15. The water temp 71. Small craft, that advisory remains in effect. Inland, we see mostly a fair night for the fairs across the east. A cool one, lows in the low 40s, winds northeast. Tomorrow should be a mostly sunny, pleasant day, 68 for a high, northeast winds. And our sun rises bright and early, 7:08, sets at 6:50. Car Lake, 299.4 feet above mean sea level. And the next 4 days, our Wednesday should be a mostly sunny day with highs, again, quite cool, upper 60s. Now, we will see a gradual moderation of our daytime highs as we move closer to the front's arrival. 74 Thursday, 76 Friday, Saturday, with some rain showers around. Could be just a bit cooler. And overnight lows tonight will be the coolest. The next one should moderate somewhat as well.
You know, when you go outside right this moment, it's not too cool, but boy, that's going to change. Huh?
Yes, it will. Overnight lows again, low 40s.
Man, all right, thanks, Philip. It's logical to assume that the best time to begin learning an important piece of information is when you're young. Now, that's exactly what's happening here. The Greenville Fire Department was busy today visiting the little people at area preschools and daycares as part of Fire Prevention Week. At St. Timothy's, for instance, the kids got a chance to see a fire engine up close, and to help make the point, they were teaching the kids how to stop, drop, and roll if their clothes ever caught fire. They also got a special visit from Sparky the fire dog. Tonight at 7 o'clock, the fire department plans to light up the skies of Greenville by setting off a controlled LP gas fire at Carolina Mall to practice putting one out. Now, North Carolina's export business is picking up, we're told. The Morehead City Terminal says it's showing a 63% increase since July. Frozen poultry is being exported out of Morehead City at about 1,800 tons per shipment. The increase in exports helps to decrease the state debt. State officials say they believe those exports will continue to grow, and that is good news for our state. The stock market closed mixed today. The Dow lost nearly a point.
Do you need to rent a car, truck, or van? If so, call us at USAir Auto Rental in Greenville. We are your vehicle replacement specialist. Our rates are the lowest in the area, starting at only $14.95, and we accept all major credit cards, cash, or local checks. We also offer free pickup and delivery service and discounts for qualified customers. When the need arises, call us at 756-2595. We can save you time and money. Remember, USAir Auto Rental is your hometown rental car company.
It has all the softness of white bread, more calcium, fiber, and iron than whole grain wheat. And the taste? Simply smashing. New white wheat from nature's own. Choo-choo. White wheat.
Officials at East Carolina School of Nursing are doing some bragging tonight. Recent graduates of the nursing program at ECU received a 97% passing rate on the national license exam. Now, that's 1 percentage point higher than the state's overall passing rate. The students took the exam in July, and 58 of the 60 nursing graduates passed it. Officials at the university say their passing rate says a lot about the nursing program at ECU.
It speaks very well to the quality of our students, the quality of our faculty, and how hard those people work to make an excellent program. Our faculty have devoted a good bit of energy in the last 2 years to strengthening our curriculum and to working with students as they get ready to take this exam to make sure that they are prepared for the kinds of things that they'll be asked to respond to.
The state exam is tough, too. It consists of 4 separate tests measuring fundamental and required skills for the beginning nurse. The American Cancer Society estimates more than 5,000 women in our state will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year. As part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the head of one major company is trying to show other companies how early breast cancer screening saves lives. Cheryl Keck has more in tonight's Medical Journal.
I really believe that this program saved my life. I feel very strongly about it.
Shirley Weitzel found her breast cancer very early thanks to a mammogram she got free on company time and company premises. Her employer, ICI Americans Incorporated, is one of 8 corporate giants who have obtained their own mammography equipment. They've already saved scores of lives and millions of dollars by reducing lost days from work and hospitalization.
If you care about your people, it makes sense. If you care about the bottom line, it makes sense. It's going to be the best return on investment you can make.
Black feels so strongly that for the 3rd year in a row, he's written the CEOs of every Fortune 500 company offering ICI's assistance in developing their own screening programs. An offer echoed this week by 11 wives and daughters of presidents and vice presidents, known as the Capitol Council for Early Detection. They're urging the nation's business leaders to join forces in the war against breast cancer. What many businesses seem to be learning is that by spending money on early detection, they save lives and dollars. It also earns an employee's love and loyalty.
I have a job. I'm healthy. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm in remission. How can I not feel good about the company and feel good about coming to work?
On the Medical Journal, I'm Cheryl Keck for News Center 9, the first in news.
Well, we're just sitting here talking about the fact that we've got late nights coming up. Got a lot of the playoffs.
Late night baseball. We've got the National League Championship Series beginning tonight. The American League starts tomorrow night. Pirates and the Braves tonight. Last year, a great series. It went 7 games. We'll preview tonight's Game 1. Also, news on Jerry Stackhouse, the former Kinston star, and Plays of the Week right after this.
You know,
know, some car leases try to lure you in with a low monthly payment. Sounds fine, until you multiply it by the number of monthly payments. Well, your Carolina Ford dealer has a better idea. $269 a month for just 24 months. That puts you in a 92 Ford Taurus, loaded with all this equipment. $269 for just 24 months. Bottom line, the Ford Taurus is a much better deal. But see your participating Carolina Ford dealer now, because this is a limited time offer.
Annie, they said, did you know Pop Secret continually test Pops their popcorn? Tell me more, I said. Pop Secret trivia is my life. Well, to provide perfect popcorn, Pop Secret tests Pops 275 bags a day. That's over 100,000 bags a year, just to be sure that we get a full bag of delicious, light, and fluffy popcorn.
Pop Secret perfect popcorn is our passion.
Test popping for perfection, a delicious idea.
Freedent's the one. Only one gum leads the way when you've got dental work, and that's Freedent. Freedent won't stick to your dental work, so you can be confident chewing it. And because it also moistens your mouth and freshens your breath, Freedent's in a class by itself.
Freedent's the one that took the stick out of gum, and Freedent moistens your mouth. Yeah, moistens your mouth and freshens your breath while you chew.
Non-stick Freedent moistens your mouth and freshens your breath.
Sometimes unexpected events can completely change our lives. Accidents don't just happen. They are the result of someone's negligence or recklessness. One person gets careless and another, an innocent victim, spends the rest of his life paying for it. If your dreams or plans for the future have been jeopardized or put aside as a result of the negligence of others, call Taft and Hagler at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care.
Former Kinston All-American Jerry Stackhouse has reportedly ruled out Duke and Wake Forest as college choices. Our sources continue to say that North Carolina State is the front runner, with Carolina closing fast. Stackhouse transferred from Kinston to Oak Hill Academy for his senior year. He lists the Wolfpack, the Tar Heels, Florida State, and Michigan in his Final Four. Duke was originally believed to be very much in the hunt, but now North Carolina State is in the lead, with Carolina considered a very, very close second. A couple of published reports say that it is more unlikely, rather, that Alonzo Mourning will sign and be in camp, or not sign, rather, with the Hornets on time. Charlotte's camp opens on Friday, with the two sides about $200,000 apart, repeating that Alonzo Mourning will not sign in time to be in camp coming up on Friday. Last year's National League Championship Series was a masterpiece between Pittsburgh and Atlanta, topped only, perhaps, by the World Series for drama. In last year's NLCS, there were 4 shutouts, 3 1-0 finals, and 4 games decided by 1 run. That series went the distance, and those involved this year expect another nail-biter.
I don't think it'll be any different as far as I'm concerned. It's 2 good ball clubs going at each other, and eventually somebody's going to win it. I hope it's the Braves, and, you know, Jimmy Leland does a terrific job over there, and they're solid, and I think we are too.
They're going to be ready to play, and we know Barry has something to prove, so it's not going to be easy. You know, I think we all feel as though we can win it, but we've got to go out there and get good, solid pitching and play solid defense, and if we do that, we're going to have a chance to win, and that's what we're trying to do.
Atlanta dominated us last year during the season time. I didn't play against the 2 lefties during the season time. I had that chance to play with them this year, and I feel more confident. The team feels more confident against them this year. We wouldn't want to play another team besides them. It was different last year. I think even in our hearts, we might have said we wanted to play Atlanta, but I think we wanted to play LA.
Tonight's game time is 8:39, with coverage beginning at 8:30 right here on CBS and TV9. Meanwhile, the American League Championship Series begins tomorrow night in Toronto. The A's will send Dave Stewart to the mound opposite last year's World Series hero from Minnesota, Jack Morris. Morris jumped to Toronto in the offseason as a free agent. Now he's back in the postseason. Pirate football, East Carolina hopes to return a couple of healthy bodies to the defense this week. First linebacker Jerry Dillon had his pins removed from his broken thumb. His status is probable he will play. Coach Steve Logan said yesterday that his problems on defense were really more mental than anything. This East Carolina team can't win on form alone. Another of the emotional leaders will be back this week. Linebacker Tony Davis nursing a broken thumb.
I'm not experiencing any pain right now, and I guess that's the biggest thing, because I was experiencing so much pain in the game last week. That's why I wasn't able to play. But I got the pins taken out Friday, as a matter of fact, and it feels great right now.
East Carolina and Duke coming up this week. Finally, very quickly, the plays of the week. We've got some great ones from baseball. The 3,000 hit man, Robin Yount, the diving grab. That saved a game in the pennant drive. Andy Van Slyke can do it as well. The diving catch there. In the rain, Candy Maldonado. Shane Mack has had his share, several of catches like this year. How about Jose Lean, second base at Pittsburgh? You'll see him tonight. A diving play and leaned again. But they can't all be gems. How about Danny Tartable? No. And Jay Bell? No. And that's the way I feel about it right there. Mike Ditka, those are the plays of the week. How about Ditka this weekend?
Mike is hot, doesn't he?
He wanted to make the first play of the week, didn't quite get there.
Well, man. He didn't they tell him he had a heart attack? He shouldn't do that
He
anymore?
said he would be calm from now on.
Yeah, sure. We'll be back with more after this. Stay with us.
George Bush is running attack ads. He says all these people would have their taxes raised by Bill Clinton. Scary, huh? Misleading, says the Washington Post. And the Wall Street Journal says Clinton has proposed to cut taxes for the sort of people featured in Bush's ad. So why is Bush doing it? Because George Bush has had the worst economic record of any president in 50 years. George Bush is trying to scare you about Bill Clinton. But nothing could be more frightening than 4 more years.
A no-risk retirement lifestyle awaits you at the Albemarle in historic Tarboro. No entrance fees are required or long-term leases. Just move in and stay as long as you care to. Nearly everything you will need is included in your monthly rent. At the Albemarle, you will have time to enjoy your life, your way, at your pace. For more information on the Albemarle, call toll-free 1-800-849-2508. That's 800-849-2508.
Hey, Frosted Flakes fans, got a sweet spot? Hit it with a sweet shot. Wheaties honey going. Crispy corn, whole grain wheat gone. It's your spot, crunchy sweet.
Crunchy.
Touch of honey, it's what it's got. Put her there. Gotta have it. Wanna hit your sweet spot? Right down the middle. Hit it with a sweet shot. Wheaties honey go.
We've got a miracle cure for the checkout blahs. A remedy that promises immediate relief from an upset budget. And used on a regular basis, we guarantee you'll never have to suffer from nagging high food prices again. Food Lion. Taken regularly, it cures the checkout blahs.
Look for the Gorton label in Food Lion's frozen food cases. Gorton serves up quick, nourishing seafood your whole family will love, and Food Lion serves up an extra low price.
There's a new program out there. It's a program geared toward teaching children through hands-on experience. Our Spade Williams shows us.
If you stop by River Park North in Greenville during the next few days, you're going to have a lot of company. Dozens of students from East Carolina University are giving more than 650 Pitt County students a hands-on education. The program gives the youngsters information on the great outdoors, and it's good experience for the college students who are preparing for careers with agencies such as the National Park Service.
At the same time, it benefits the school children in Pitt County because they get to actually do hands-on activities. Instead of talking about it or listening about it in the classroom, they get to come out here and actually do it.
The students are learning about many things, including insect life, as well as creatures that live in our waters. And it's the children who are doing the work, re-emphasizing the value of hands-on experience. As a matter of fact, experts say children remember only 5% of what they hear, 40% of what they see, but 90% of what they do. And that is the key to this program, doing. But is it working?
It's a lot more interesting to see it done than to just hear about somebody who's already done it.
And programs like this could be the way of the future as educators combine learning with enjoyment. In Greenville, Spade Williams, News Center 9, the First in News.
Looks like they had a good time at it, too. We, of course, will be back tonight at 11 o'clock. In the meantime, stay warm if you go out to the Pitt County Fair. Be sure to bring a jacket. We'll see you tonight after the baseball game, which is probably going to be late. Have a good night.